Scrolling through the feeds, same old show. Creators playing safe, moving way too slow. Clickbait, realness, I'm feeling neglected. Come see the rolling TARDIS. Break the mold, where the stories are real, where the truth is bold. No safety net here, just the wild and free. Like and subscribe, join the journey with me. Diving in deep with the facts on the screen. Liberal free thinking, if you know what I mean. Forget all the fluff, we're cutting the crap. Getting down to the nitty gritty, no time for a nap. I'm done with the chatter, need substance and spark. In a world full of echoes, be a shot in the dark. Come see the rolling TARDIS. Break the mold, where the stories are real, where the truth is bold. No safety net here, just the wild and free. Like and subscribe, join the journey with me. Scroll through the moments, the laughter and tears. We conquer the silence, we face our fears. It's a reckless ride on this YouTube wave. Authentic connections, that's what we crave. So ditch the same old, let's bring the new. Real life stories waiting just for you. Unfiltered and raw, we're breaking the chain. Jump on the train, feel the passion and pain. Subscribe to the thrill, don't miss the chance. Rolling TARDIS is where the real ones dance. Come see the rolling TARDIS. Break the mold, where the stories are real, where the truth is bold. No safety net here, just the wild and free. Like and subscribe, join the journey with me. Now's the time to rise, to amplify the voice. In a sea of sameness, we've made the choice. So hit that button, let's spark the flame. Rolling TARDIS is here, remember the name. No more masks or shadows, let's step into light. With stories that matter, we'll rise up and fight. Come see the rolling TARDIS.
All right, welcome back. So as you can see, it's that time of year. We're in full Christmas mode. So it's going to be a short season since Thanksgiving and the following holidays are a week later, so you lose a week. So before you know it, we'll be taking all this stuff down. And that's just the fact of this particular holiday season. It is what it is. You know, some years, you know, Christmas is extra long, and some years is shorter than most. So that's that. But of course, we just got done with Thanksgiving holidays, all the other good stuff. It's shopping season. So I've been sitting on a couple of things, and of course, you know, I get everything from Amazon. So you try to get everything at the lowest price that they will ever sell anything as. So one thing with Amazon is if you got that, if you notice in the left-hand corner there of your browsers, that you get that Rufus thing, and it usually gives you the price history of stuff. So within 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever it is. So, you know, you look at a particular item that you want and you see what the price is, what the trend is. It's either high or low. So I got a bunch of stuff at the lowest that, you know, Amazon will ever get at. So I got 5 packages here and stuff like that. And of course, it's all from Amazon. So yesterday was kind of interesting for Amazon, and the one particular driver, I think she come back twice, actually 3 times. So I think she got like several different routes, and she had to come back for a second round. So she had a little mishap with her electric van, and it was the full electric van, I believe it's the Rivian. She backed up into the driveway, and she didn't realize where she was in the driveway. So when she pulled out, the back end of her van clipped the wall, aka the island, and she damaged her van. She broke a light, and she lost the sensor. So I hope she doesn't get terminated. Because I know Amazon is very anal over their electric vans, but it's got a broken light, so more than likely it's going to be sidelined. And of course, she probably had to answer some questions and stuff like that when she got back to for her terminal. So that's the little Amazon story. So we got a bunch of stuff from Amazon, and of course, I conveniently not listed anything in the title of the live stream other than, you know, whatever Amazon haul from Price Reduction Friday. So like I said, I got some stuff that I've been sitting on for a while, and I kind of want, so I picked them up. So now we're gonna open them up, check them out, and then later on if I feel that need to put the stuff in the descriptions, then I will. So, got some everyday stuff that I'm not going to show. But I got some fleece line pants that I've sort of been toying with the idea, and finally bought some. So, for me, fleece line pants is kind of like an LL Bean thing. So you got your winter attire and stuff like that. So, you know, it's winter time now. It's cold. It's snowing. I've already had a YouTube clip, short of the lab tree here in the foreground, and in the background it's snowing from lake effect. So these are Magcomsen. That's the brand. So I'll rip the tag off and show you. That's the brand. So I got some other stuff from them too. So I decided to get their fleece line pants. So they're the cargo style. So they got the 4 pockets. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 pocket version. Some of them are 5 pockets. So all zipped. And yes, I'm in the dark mode now. So Christmas tree's on. All the lights are off or dim. And you can see even the main house tree is on. You can see the reflection in the glass there. So like I said, these are the fleece lined. And make sure I didn't rip the button off. So inside, it's fleece. So you get a little bit warmer for the occasional outings, you know, snow blowing and shoveling, or wandering around outside admiring my own lights and stuff like that. And I'll have a video on that coming up probably maybe this weekend. and stuff like that. So I got a gray pair and a white pair. Usually white pairs are detrimental around here. They get dirty real fast. I managed to ruin everything, or at least spill everything on something and stain it permanently. So, gray pair, white pair. So these are nice heavy duty. Of course, these are, I think they're classified as really snow pants and stuff like that. Ski pants, stuff like that. But they're fleece lined, so keep the old lower extremities nice and warm. And of course, one thing I've been sitting on that I've been wanting for a while is a 10 amp battery charger. So I got a little 5 amp little job, and it does a fantastic job. But you need something that's got a little bit more oomph. And of course, this one is specialized. It's one of the few chargers that will actually charge a dead battery from 0 volts. So that's always a bonus. Because sometimes most chargers, if the battery voltage is like 9 volts or lower, they will not even touch attempt to charge any kind of batteries or stuff like that. So these little Nocos, and of course I got the boosters, you know, the GBX 155, the GBX 45, and I got that little GB 40. So they come in handy every once in a while, because you never know. Because everybody's, you get that occasional person, can you help me jump my car, and blah, blah, blah. And of course, if you can, if you're not in a hurry, you rather charge the battery back up. So stuff like that, it's preferred that. But I got a little apparatus that I use for going around, because I got a bunch of 12-volt batteries that I use for outdoor lighting for the hurricane lanterns and stuff like that. So now that it's winter, there's not much sun. They don't always get fully charged. So I can run around with an extension cord and charge them back up. So lots of unnecessary packaging in that, but here it is. This thing is heavy. So, you know, it's a 10 amp battery charger. It does all your standard chemistries. It does your leaded flood, AGM, gel, and lithium battery. So I got all that stuff here. Stuff like that. But every once in a while I'll go out and I got my little lithium like booster, my own little power station. So this is my little homemade power station. It's a 500 watt jobber, pure sine wave inverter, and it's on one of these lithium batteries. So this is a 50 amp hour. The 500 watt is about the max this battery can handle, because it's only rated at such amount of amps, like 50 amp continuous discharge. So 500 watts is about, you know, 50 amps coming out of your 12 volt supply. So it's usually for every 100 watts of AC power, it's 10 amps DC going in. So every once in a while, if I need to charge my 40 amp hour gel batteries, I'll go out with that and this thing now and charge them up to the max. So nice little handy little thing to have laying around. And of course, I got that for the lowest price that Amazon will sell that for, which is like $99. So that ain't bad. Usually they're like $129, I believe, and stuff like that. And then, so that's that. And of course, there's nothing else in there to show off other than stuff I need every day. So that takes care of that. So the pants, the charger. Now the next thing that I've been sitting on. Now that I got, well, new to me, iPhone 15 Pro Max phablet. It's got a decent camera in it, where I believe the 12 millimeter and the 24 millimeter, the f-stop is 1.8. So that tells me that it should do a decent job at doing outdoor photography or videography at night. So usually I'll do the showing off the Christmas trees at night and stuff like that. So normally, like I said in the past, the best way to video your Christmas lights at night is you need a decent camera lens. Doesn't matter what's behind the lens, it's the lens itself. And like I mentioned in previous outdoor viewings, that the camera lens makes or breaks filming Christmas lights at night, because it's very difficult to do to get it right so it doesn't look like crap. And you know, a lot of people, they go out with their smartphones and they video it, and it's like, yeah, you get the general idea, but it looks like crap. It's either too dark or everything is like fuzzy, blurry, because it can't generate any kind of focal points, and it just looks terrible. So when I did my previous year's videoing, I would get this camera out with a 35 millimeter lens on it, and this one has the f-stop of like 2.0, which is like right in that range of what you want for videoing lights outside at night. And it does a fantastic job as long as you know how to set your camera up and stuff like that. So when I got this thing, this is like new to me, the phablet. I did notice in the specifications that the 12 and 24 millimeter has a low f-stop focal point on the camera. So doing a little tweaking with the software behind that lens should be able to do a decent job with videoing Christmas lights at night. So I'm going to test that with this one now, because my other one, my 12 Pro Max, it absolutely sucked. Even filming lights inside, it was awful. I never bothered posting any of that kind of video, stuff like that. I always did it with the big DSLR, and of course I use my gimbal, my Zephyrin gimbal, big, huge, heavy gimbal for them DSLRs and stuff like that. It's a little overkill for a smartphone. So now that I got a potentially a decent rig for videoing and stuff like that, I don't have a gimbal for the smartphones, or I should say the phablets. So I got one now. So it was a debate between, for me, Zephyrin or DJI. So I got a DJI, just to try it out. So I had a Zephyrin smartphone gimbal for smartphones, but since I used the big ones, I could never balance it. You had to use a ridiculous amount of counterweights and stuff like that, and it was not happy. So luckily, I think this is the one I got. It's a DJI Osmo Mobile SE. I think of course it's more suited for these phablets because of the design of the arm. And that was the biggest problem with my my Zephyrin, is that no matter where you had that phone all the way over to the stop, and then you had the arm all the way out, it was too heavy for it. It would get unhappy and just flop. So I got these guys. So I'm not gonna go over all the setup and stuff like that, because there's so many videos of people using these that, you know, it's just a waste of time for me to to make a video over it and stuff like that. But basically, it's just an unboxing, really. Of course, I gotta undo all the Apple style type packaging here. Open it up. But like I said, this is stuff that I've been sitting on, waiting for the little bit better pricing for them, so I picked up on them. Of course, it comes with a storage bag and decals and other bits and stuff like that, and of course the certified candy that you're supposed to eat. So that takes care of that. And of course the little bits and pieces of parts that come with it. The little tripod. And that's the only thing that I actually saved from the other gimbal is the tripod for the tablets. Of course, that other gimbal, they're so cheap now. They're like $30 now. Them smooth force and stuff like that. So we got all the good bits. And of course, it's nice and small. It actually feels good in my hand. Of course, I'll have to learn how to use this thing and charge it up and all that other good stuff, but it shouldn't take much to figure it out. USB-A to USB-C charging cord, another cord for the pile of cords, and the magnetic phone mount, which is kind of handy. Something unique, really, for me. So we'll take this one out, my little homemade tripod. And we'll stick that in there. Hopefully it's big enough. That was the other problem with that other gimbal, is that the freaking phone mount was barely big enough to hold it. And usually with these things, you put the bracket just so that it doesn't friggin' push on the buttons. And you probably want it on the centered and stuff like that. So this thing is, I believe it's keyed to go on one way. So that's that. So we'll see if it has any life in it. Let's see if it's charged. There we go. Because I was watching YouTube videos of how to sort of use this thing and stuff like that. So, of course, I got it backwards. So let's see. Let's take it off and make it completely unhappy that I took it off. Put it on the right way. Of course, I have to reset it. There we go. So that I can do some nice photography without the going nuts using a regular stick. So, of course, I'll have to set up the Bluetooth and download the software and stuff like that. It's got some excellent software in it to control the camera and stuff like that, but more than likely I will not be using the built-in software, the Mimo, I believe it's called. I'm going to be using my own, just recently downloaded the Black Magic camera app, and it kind of reminds me of the software I used on my previous phones. I believe it was Movie Maker Pro or something like that. It was some weird, but it did a better job at recording than the regular Apple phone software, which was okay, but it sucked. But the I believe it was called Pro Movie. Yeah, Pro Movie. That's what it was called. That's what I used for all my, when I was doing snow plowing and stuff like that with the loader and the plow truck and stuff like that. I used that software. It was good software. The only drawback with that, it had a kind of like a fatal flaw to your phone, is that when you wanted to delete the video off of it after you transferred it, it never released the memory. So if you had X amount of gigs of storage prior to you videoing it, you never got that back. So if you use like 4 gigabytes of video memory and you deleted that video, you never got that 4 back. You had to reset the whole effing phone, as in delete it and start from scratch and then download all your stuff from iCloud and stuff like that. So hopefully Blackmagic will be a little bit more user-friendly. And of course I was using the YouTube apps to figure out, YouTube videos to figure out how to use this thing too. Which I think I'm going to like this this app better than the Apple. So, because it allows me to adjust all the parameters, kind of like using the DSLRs with the Magic Lantern app and stuff like that to get all the tweaks out of it. So, this is already 100% better than the Apple app, camera app, and video app. So hopefully it works out. I'll find out when I start using it and practicing and stuff like that. So not sure. Of course, I never used the Bluetooth in it and stuff like that. So I got to bind all that, the gimbal to the phone and all that other stuff. So not gonna bore all you with all that other stuff like that and stuff like that. So of course I need to have my mic light DSLR. I need to have my road equipment attached to it. So of course the camera itself had the hot shoe mount where you could just mount that receiver for the audio in and stuff like that. But this little guy doesn't have any provisions for attaching an external mic. So, there's nothing on the phone. There's that. Usually gimbals give you like a little hot shoe, but more than likely it just relies on you to use that built-in microphone, which is okay. It's fine, but it's not really what I want to do when I'm using this thing to do it professionally. So I try to do things professionally and not have it half-ass. Not that it matters, for most people. So first thing I needed to get a hold of is an adapter cable, because I have adapter cables to go from TRS plug to Apple Lightning, but now I need TRS to USB-C. So I needed to get a, the Apple, not Apple, but the whatever chip is in it to make it happy. But I need a way to mount all that. So I got the little cold shoe mounting plate, so I can mount my receiver, and at the same time, if I want to, you can attach something else to the other side of this thing, like a microphone, or because I got one of them Rode little microphones that you can attach. It's probably locked up somewhere in there. But this little guy, all he's going to do is just a little adapter plate that it's got 2 cold shoes on it that just basically clips on with a spring mount. So he just goes around the handle, pull back on the spring to close them up. Of course, you got to get it in just the right spot. It might go down lower, I believe. Either down low or up here. No, it wouldn't go down that high. You gotta have access to that. There we go. So you still can hold it, but then have the. I'll have to use my transmitter for this demonstration. Then you can just plug your receiver in. So just like that. So that'll be handy. And of course, on this side, you can put another microphone or a light or something like that to it. But that's when the other package. Of course, I got all the. This one's a little bit more advanced than that Smooth 4, where you can use the joystick to control the pan and tilt and stuff like that. So this is the audio cable for it, so I can plug in the receiver to the phone via USB-C. And I guess that Black Magic app is basically tailored to iPhone 15s and up. So I got the bare minimum for that software. And this is just a short little cord that'll connect to the bottom of your phone. And since I use magnetic, the wireless charging, this little cover is a little tough to get off every once in a while. So that'll connect to that, and then connect to the receiver. So the audio goes into the recording. So that takes care of that. So of course, like I said, I'll have to play with that and all the other good stuff. Get that stuff out of the way. Now I got a real mess down here. Save the destructions for something. Drop that on the floor. That's a good spot for it. Everything ends up on the floor here. So what'd you do, go to sleep? There. So now the final thing, and it's the biggest thing. It's actually the last thing that come in. I didn't think it was going to be delivered yesterday because it was still in transit, and it didn't get delivered till like almost 6 o'clock at night. So that old house, the house built in the 1800s sometime, is going to get a modern twist. I got my first robot vacuum / mopping thingy. So this is another thing I've been toying with, wanting for a while, and I kind of been sitting on this for several years. And of course, these little things have come a long way. And there's all kinds of different brands. Of course, back in the day when I was thinking about this, the only thing that was really available is that Roomba. But Roomba is like the BMW, so it's the most expensive robot vacuum. So this is kind of like a decent entry level, that's all I need for this establishment. So this is the Roborock. It's the Q7 series, so it's got the vacuum and it's also got mopping capabilities, but I'm not really interested in the mopping capabilities because it's only relying on kind of like a Swiffer, and Swiffers suck in my opinion, especially in this establishment, because there's just too much grime brought in to keep floors clean in here. And this thing will have a full-time job of just keeping the floors dirt-free and dust-free and debris-free. So, two different variations of this thing. I chose to get the one with the self-emptying feature because I don't want to be bothered having to pick the device up and empty it every single time that it does its run. So this is another thing I gotta set up and figure out how to use it and stuff like that. First thing it's got to do is map out the house and figure out what kind of madness it's gonna find itself into. So this should be interesting. Of course, it's got all kinds of packaging. What is this? Quick setup guide? Yeah, it's got all the QR codes and stuff like that. This thing gets set up by Wi-Fi. So you gotta have a Wi-Fi network and all that other good stuff. And of course, for me, I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put this thing where it can park itself. And next to an outlet, because it needs an outlet. So in this old place, there's not many outlets near the floor. Just one of them things of dealing with an old house. Nothing's modern and everything in it sucks. So we'll have to figure that out. Of course, I have to put this on the floor now. So here's the machine itself. And too bad I don't have a cat, so the cat can ride it. Like you see them videos on YouTube, the cat riding the robot vacuum at night while it's doing its thing. This thing's got the whippy brushes on it and LiDAR and all kinds of good stuff. So this one's got kind of supposed to be tangle-free brush where it's got bristles and the rubber paddle and stuff like that. And it's got the little wheelie and the little thingamajig that whirls around and tries to push all the dirt in the center so the vacuum can pick it up. And it's got all the QR codes and stuff like that. I'll have to keep on there until I figure out how to use this thing. So that is that. And of course, it's got all kinds of weird stuff on it. Stuff I'll have to peel off. All that other good stuff. Comes with extra pads. So here's the actual mopping pad. It's like I said, it's kind of like a Swiffer. So it's got, I guess it's got a little water tank on there. But like I said, in this place, it's not gonna be feasible to. And on top of that, the floors are all fucked up. So it's not like it's gonna do a nice job mopping. So power cord and more stuff, more packaging. At least they make it easy for you to get it out. They give you go handles. That's always a benefit. And of course, all kinds of friggin' cardboard I'm gonna have to burn now. So here's the, I think there's one more piece. It's got a, I think it's got a like a little, maybe that's what that is. So this is the debris storage solution and charging station for this thing. So this thing parks in there. It's got a big hole in there for sucking up all the crap that it picked up and stuff like that. So inside here is a bag. It's a it's got a little trap door to keep all the dirt in there. So it's a cloth bag, kind of like a, you know, old school vacuum bag. So it's supposed to be disposable, but it looks like it's decent quality, and you might be able to get away with going outside and emptying it and maybe throwing in the washing machine. See if it holds up. You know, because I'm cheap. You know, and you know someday that these things will be obsolete, and then you won't be able to get all the little bits and pieces and stuff like that. And so that's just me being, you know, weird. But that just fits in there like that, and that gets supposed to be able to carry, you know, like 7 to 9 weeks of dirt. But maybe in this place it might, you know, have to be emptied every other week. Stuff like that. So of course I'll have to read all the instructions of how to set this thing up and stuff like that. And maybe I'll come back in a different live stream and we'll watch this thing run around and do its thing. That's the mop and stuff like that. Is there anything else? I think that's about it. Lots of garbage. Make sure there's no other bits and pieces that might need to be needed. That's for that. That's for that. Okay. I guess that's all the bits and pieces for the Roborock. So, like I said, I'll have to figure it out. But more so is finding a home for it. So, how long is this cord? I have no idea where I'm going to put it. Definitely can't go in here. There's no room in here. I barely got enough room for what I do every day in here. I have to go out in the other room. So this thing is about probably about 4 foot long. Yeah, about 4 to 5 feet long. So that should be able to reach something. Might have to get another outlet strip and stuff like that for it. So that's the mopping pad, blah, blah, blah. And of course, the vacuum. This thing's heavy. So, like I said, you know, never had one. Just another step to be to reach laziness. I'm not having to. Of course, it's something like this. It's never an be-all, end-all thing. You know, you're always going to have to do some vacuuming, and you're going to have to do some, of course, edge work and stuff like that, because it's not going to get every little bit and piece of this particular floor in this establishment. That's for sure. So, okay, that little plastic plate goes on the floor. So that's kind of like what it parks on. It looks like it's got sticky pads and stuff like that. That you, I believe, stick to the floor, but blah, blah, blah. But how long have we been running? 45 minutes, yeah. Getting close to that hour. So blah, 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 blah. Okay. So that's it. My little reduced price Friday. Of course, we'll go back to the charger here. Of course, like I said, this has got my little power station here. So let's actually plug this in and see if it works. So turn that on. Actually, turn that off. Is that off? Yes. Get a little spark from the capacitors starting up in there. We'll turn them on. And then we'll plug this thing in. But like I said, my little mobile thing here. So, you know, if you're ever shopping around for inverters, just spend the extra couple of dollars and get the pure sine wave, because that square wave crap is just what it is. It's crap. So, we got the little power button here. And of course, this is meant for being permanently attached to the battery of your choosing, but probably more likely I'll get the I got a set of clamps on here. I might just unbolt the clamps and from its little pigtail and put the clamps on this. So it's got plenty of cord, that's for sure. Let's see, can I plug this thing into anything? Let's see, what are you connected to? I don't have the clamps. So let's see, how about if I just do sketchy shit and just plug it in. So that should be directly to the battery, I believe. So we got 12 volts, but oh, there it goes. But that's not a flooded, because that's a lithium battery for the power supply. So it is charging it. So let's see, we got 10 watts, 60 watts, starting to go up in wattage now. So I know these lithium batteries are very, they got their own unique charging system in it. For them LiFePO4 chemistry. So we're up 120 watts. And of course, this thing almost says it's fully charged. I think it's about 60%. Yeah, it's 60%. So let's see what's charging at. Turn the backlight on. I want DC. Why do you keep going back to the AC? Weird thing. So right now it's charging about half an amp. So that thing is almost fully charged. 13.1 volts. Yeah, it thinks it's already charged. Of course, it's actually doing backward thing. But at least it works. So I can go out and top off solar batteries with this thing. Anybody on? Probably not. Oh well. So, got nothing else to really go over here. It's been over a month since I did a stream, and things weren't really happy when I started it up. But restarting the application a couple of times fixed that, because one of the cameras was not coming up, which is weird. But that's to be expected with OBS. Especially when it doesn't run in a while, it just does stupid things. But at least YouTube ain't belly aching about not receiving enough data. So that's a good thing. And of course, I got my if you watch JK18's Saturday video, he got a bunch of stuff repaired from me and returned to him. So, of course, it was kind of like one of his birthday presents that I gave him. I gifted him some custom embroidered shirts, YouTube shirts. So when I finished his, I finished mine, because I started with this, the YouTube and the channel name, but I was too lazy to put my particular brand of vehicle and of course the star, the American flag, and on my back it's the American Eagle with the flag colors on him, where he's got his better half on his back, because she's always got his back, even though she should kick his backside on a daily basis. She probably does in her mind. But that's all I think I really got for this particular live stream. Might have another one for next weekend. I'll find something to catch up on. And of course, Christmas is coming up real soon, so have some time to putter around and stuff like that. But other than that, that's all I got, other than for myself some learning to do and some practicing and some organizing. Now I gotta get rid of all this cardboard, but I guess we'll end it here. So for those who watch, thanks for watching. For those who watch the replay, make sure you do all that YouTube crap and comment, rate, and subscribe. And we will see you on the next stream. So until